All right, guys. Thank you so much for jumping on tonight. You all know me. You all know I was going to introduce myself, and there is no reason for me to introduce myself. I am super excited to be here tonight, and actually this was kind of an impromptu thing. Clearly, I don't look like I should be doing anything in public. It is a snow ice day. I have plaid pink pants on and Aztec orange striped slippers. You would enjoy that thoroughly. It was a day that I was going to stay holed up in my house, but I think that it is so stinking important for us to talk about that. And what we're going to talk about tonight is growing your network, networking in groups, finding your right groups, and really, as I was sitting here thinking about things that I wanted to touch on, I really want to talk about the small talk, or how to transition from this is a brand new friend to, hey, I would love for you to look at what I have going on. Okay, because I feel like that we can take the window that's this long and make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to start with, and this kind of aligns with our ShopMob Success Run and your branding pages. Hopefully all of you on here have printed off your Success Run and you're working on your pie slices and you're doing all the sheets, right? Because the branding piece directly aligns with your groups, right? Now, I've talked to a couple different people over the course of the past couple days about groups. And I think the important thing to remember is that, somebody said to me, I'm trying to simplify and I'm getting rid of some of my groups. And I don't even remember who said that to me. But the thing is this is almost like shopping or garage selling. Like, you have to go through and join some groups to find out if they're groups that fit you, right? So for example, the other day, I'm trying to expand my network in a way that, light is really super bright. I'm trying to expand my network in a way that will differ from a lot of my friends. And so a lot of my friends are a different age group than me. So I went through and found some 40 and over entrepreneurs, 40 and over health and wellness groups. Like, you guys, that's how specific you can get with groups, and there are groups for it. Okay, so if you want to look at your age and something like, hello, oh yeah, let me mute everybody. I'm so sorry. I usually do that at the beginning. I'm so sorry. So this is open forum. You guys can unmute yourself if you have questions. You can also pop it in the chat. I want to make sure like this doesn't have a true agenda. So I don't want you to feel like you have to just listen to me preach at you. So if you have something, unmute, shout it out. I wasn't being distracted, which is totally off the wall. I usually mute everyone because I'm a squirrel and I can't focus. Like right now, what was I talking about? Okay, so back to where we were at. I want to help you guys think a little bit more outside the box on the groups that you should be adding yourself to. Okay, so it doesn't have to be related to Modere. It doesn't have to be related to clean living. It doesn't have to be related to business building. It doesn't have to be related to health and wellness. Okay, so when you did those branding sheets, and if you did like the whole work yourself through to figure out your 5 pillars and all the things that go down beneath your pillars, there you are. What would that make? 50 different things you could search and find groups that align with those. Okay, I bet, and I haven't looked, but I'm going to look now. I bet you there are groups out there for people that love the color orange. I should be in them. Okay, you never know who you're going to interact with in those groups. That's how broad that can get. Okay, now I joined a bunch of these 40 and over groups the other day. And as you join them, some of them you have to answer questions or whatever. Here's the thing, you have to remember that when you get approved into them, I immediately knew one of them was not for me the second I got approved and I started scrolling. So what did I do? I looked through the members list really quickly and scrolled through to see if there were any people that maybe would catch my eye, like by their personal description, because I could add a few friends from that group. And after that, I left the group. No harm, no foul. Like, their feelings aren't hurt because I decided not to stay. So that was just my way of like shopping through. The biggest thing is you guys have to, like, when I do my pie slices and it says to post in one brand group, I usually add 3 or 4 groups a day, and I usually delete 3 or 4 groups a day. Okay, because I don't want to have overload of groups, but I always want to be transitioning myself into new networks. Okay. I don't know. I've had somebody that I helped do one. There's like bowling groups. I mean, you guys, if you really think about the things you like to do, if you like to camp, if you like to read, I mean, there are groups for everything. Then you can be specific. You can put 40 and over stepmoms. Like, you're going to get like a very specified group. And I'm just using myself as an example. But you can really drive it down and find people. And the thing is, when you find groups that are defined by you, those are typically going to be people that are like you, right? Okay, so I think that we probably figured out how to get into the groups that we want to get. Here is a little tip. I did a call with somebody the other day. She wasn't even from our company. She had some questions about building in groups. And we were talking, and something I just recently started doing. Okay, so who here has been added to, and I'm going to say a company name, so this recording hopefully doesn't go where it shouldn't go, but who has been added to a unique Facebook group without being invited? Every one of us, right? I went into my groups, like I went into my app and I clicked on the little lines and I went to groups and I scrolled all the way to the bottom. Those are the groups you're least active with. And there were 12 unique groups I'd been added to that I hadn't even seen or accepted the invite to. The first 12 were from unique. And I'm just using that as an example because there's many. I'm sorry, Allie. I know that's where you came from. So here I am offending Allie. That just happened to be the group that I had the most of right there that I hadn't accepted or that I hadn't been in. But here's what I did. You guys, I went in, okay, those people are already in a network marketing group. You need to go into the groups that you're already in, scroll all the way to the bottom to the inactive ones, open them up. I accepted the invite. I scrolled around and looked around in there. I added friends from those groups, and then I removed myself. I don't need to be in 25 unique groups, but I certainly can find some people that are already interested in buying buying direct sales, network marketing type products. And then once I was done doing what I wanted to do in that group, whether it was 1 day, 5 days, 7 days, I removed myself from the group. Okay. So when you're removing yourself from the group, you're freeing up your newsfeed, but you're already in those groups. Guys are already sitting on groups full of people that you're not friends with. Okay. You can't go in there and start marketing in somebody else's marketing group. I mean, you could, if they put you in there without being invited, you might think about it. I probably think about it, and I may have done that before, but this is a prime way for you guys to start finding some friends. Okay, Becky just said, when you do that, do you send them a message? If so, what do you say? No, today on the power hour, the impromptu power hour we had, 2 hours ago, I sent 20 friend requests from one of those groups, and 17 of them have accepted my invite. I have not responded to any of them yet, but 17 people accepted the invite, and that was within the past 2 hours. So here's the thing. We get all up in our head thinking, oh my gosh, this person's going to be like, how do I know you? How do I know you? Have I gotten that before? Sure. And I usually say something along the lines of, Facebook recommended we should be friends, so I thought I would follow that. I mean, you guys can say anything. You can say, no, we must be in a mutual group and I came across your page. I like X, Y, and Z, whatever. I mean, or you can say, you know what? No, we don't. I'm just looking to network with some people on Facebook and you look like somebody that I might connect with. If they delete you, are your feelings hurt? Nope, you weren't friends with them 5 minutes ago, so it really doesn't matter, right? So, go ahead.
So when I send friend requests, I do not ever send messages when they accept. What I do is I use that little messenger notification that says you're now connected on Facebook. I use it as like a bookmark, right? Because then the next day, what I'm going to do during my power hour is I'm going to go to all of those little unread messages that say I'm connected to that person. And rather than sending them a message, I'm going to go to their profile and I'm going to comment on their profile picture, and I'm going to comment on a post that I can relate to, right? That I can squeeze my brand into. So, and here's how I picture this, guys. I picture this like walking up to a group of people at a bar or a group of moms at a park, whatever your analogy is, and pulling one of them aside and trying to start a conversation with her. And the look on her face is going to say, what the heck does this girl want? Right? Like you're going to instantly come across as kind of weird or whatever. I don't care what you've been taught. Like if you pull me aside when I'm in the middle of a conversation, or if I'm hanging out with my groups of friends, my first reaction is going to be like, what is going on here? That's how I feel about messaging people when they send you a friend request. It's too private. I feel like that is instantly going to close people off from building a relationship with you, versus walking up to that group of that same girl and that same group of friends and interjecting yourself into the conversation and sharing a funny anecdote, or just adding to the conversation, where now instead of just making one friend, I've made that entire circle of friends. So that's why I comment on their post, and I leave it very open-ended. That's why that's the second thing on your, or third thing on your pie slices, right? I leave it very open-ended. I'll comment something like a funny story that my kids did, or how I relate to that post, something like that, because I'm encouraging them to respond to me, right? Or I'm hoping that their audience that have commented on that will respond to my post. And then I can just go through and send more friend requests. And I just keep doing it. It just duplicates and duplicates over and over again, to where now I've got all of these new friends inside of her network too. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Sorry, Daph. Go.
No, don't apologize. Super great suggestions. I definitely heard Kagan say that the other day, that she uses her messenger. And I, like you guys, I don't even know why I didn't think of that, because do you want to know what I do? And you guys are going to think that I'm absolutely ridiculous. I don't usually accept a friend request unless I can interact with them right away, which I've totally stopped doing, because I'm doing exactly what Kagan suggested with keeping that little message not opened in Messenger. I have a notebook that every time somebody accepts, I have been writing them down. Why? I'm not really sure. That sounds like a whole lot of work. So I'm going to follow Kagan's suggestion. Now I go back and forth. Like, I definitely think Kagan made some huge valid points about like that awkward moment and being maybe too private. But I'm so loud and obnoxious, I do go to Messenger right away. And I definitely am like, oh my gosh, thanks for the request, especially if they request me. And I just let them know, hey, thanks for the request. Can't wait to connect. You look, your Facebook profile is super positive, blah, 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 blah. Looking forward to getting to know you. Yesterday, for example, I did this whole friending people from my groups that I've been added to that I didn't ask to be added to. You guys, I added a girl and she accepted me back, and I went to message her, which made me look at her profile, because I want to make sure I'm messaging something that's relative to her, which now I probably will go do on the profile. She's like she should be my older sister. We could be twins. Like, black hair, bright blue eyes. Like, so it was very easy for me to start a conversation with her, because I was like, did you see this? Or am I like crazy? Because we look like we could be sisters. And we ended up having like a 10 or 15 minute conversations, and involved both of our spouses, because I was like, what is this? Like, so crazy. We did a side-by-side picture, like, so funny. Anyway, you never know where that's going to turn to, but I love those suggestions that Kagan just said about getting into their stuff. That I think is so important when you're finding things to relate to them with, because they're going to remember those comments, and their friends are seeing your comments. So I like that a lot. I used to coach people to actually friend people's friends, and that's why I suggest all of you make sure that your friends list is private. I'm glad that just got said. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. If your friends list is not private, you need to go, everything else about your wall should be public, but your friends list should be private. Okay? There's many, many reasons, but I just want to make sure that you're protecting yourself.
I feel like you should tell them. They should be aware.
Well, I mean, the biggest reason for me is we're in network marketing. And so other network marketers, if they see you finding success, they're going to go start friending your friends. That's my biggest reason. If you leave a company, people are going to go and start. I mean, it's just that protection thing, right? You're building your network for a reason. This isn't their network. It's your network. Protect it. Okay. So, all right. So we talked about groups. We talked about adding. I really, really, really want you guys to get out of your head thinking about what people are going to say when you friend request them. Just do it. I literally today, when I did it, because I was on the power hour and I was trying to get as many pie slices done as possible, I literally was like reading their little bio thing that's in the members list. I didn't even open up profiles, and I hit 20 send friend requests and 17 accepted. Like I said, I haven't gone back through, and chances are when I go back through, if I open one up and it's all political or all whatever, I may hit the unfriend button. There's no big harm nor foul in that either, right? Same thing as groups. Like, social media is so funny because we're sending friend requests, but these are not even our acquaintances yet, not let alone our friends. So we have to build that. So if you delete your friend request after it's been accepted, within, a couple days and you checking out their profile, there is no harm in that. But if you send a request with no message, people will not accept. Or do you accept? I accept friend requests. When somebody, here's my protocol when someone sends me a friend request. I do not accept friend requests from anybody from Modere, just because and you guys shouldn't either, unless they become your close friends or they're on your team. I'll always accept friend requests from my team. I will always accept friend requests from people that I build strong relationships with, right? That makes sense. You don't want your news feed to be full of Modere people. And actually, this is a whole other topic for a whole other Zoom where we can create lists so your team can be in a Modere list so that they're still not filling your news feed with, right? I don't think you should unfollow all of your team, but okay, total sidebar. So that's a whole other topic that we can touch on. But as far as sending friend requests, I don't ever send a message when I send a friend request. And when I accept friend requests, I see, like, I got a few alerts today from friend requests. I'll open it up, I'll scroll their page. If it looks like somebody I can connect with, I hit the accept button. If it looks like somebody that doesn't fit my ideal customer, my ideal team member, or who I fit my core values and beliefs, I just hit decline. If you have your settings proper, which is another thing for you to write down and check, when you hit the decline button, it allows them to follow you. So they're still going to get your alerts. You just don't have to see theirs. Okay. So I don't get too up in my head either about accepting friend requests. I click accept a lot. Right. And then I also am pretty, what's the word? Generous at deleting friends on a daily. And we talked about this a little bit on the Power Hour, but I use happy birthdays, and Kelly brought up another good tip, but when I go to do my happy birthdays for that day, if somebody on that list is somebody that I don't interact with, or I am like, why is this person? I've been friends with them for 10 years and we've never shared a conversation. That's the perfect time to open it up and delete, because how awkward it would be after 10 years for me to send you a happy birthday singing message from Snapchat. Right? So I hit the delete button. The other thing is memories. If you scroll to the bottom of your memories, it tells you all the friends that you added on this date, however many years ago. That's another place to look and see if there's, inactive people or people that you can delete. Okay, that was not also the topic of this Zoom. You guys are getting all of the things. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, I just wondered if others would do that without a message. I guess I don't understand. Like, do you think others wouldn't accept a friend request without a message? You're muted. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I guess people would. I always I'll send the friend request and be like, oh my God, hi, I see you and Karen and I all are friends together, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh, I'm messaging you from the manifestation, babe. Because my one thing I'm concerned, even though I think I do a really good job branding me, like this morning, my post was about my shot glasses. So if that's when someone looks, I don't want them to be, oh, that's why you're friending me. So I want to add value to why I reached out to you versus them thinking.
Hey, you're in your head about that.
Right.
Because I mean, if that is the first thing
a million people just now, so
yeah, if that's the first thing they think of when they see your post, they're not your people.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think that you overcomplicated that.
Yeah, if they delete themselves because they think that you're going to sell them something, great, bye.
If they're going to delete you over one post when you've got two other posts that are very much about Allie and not about any products. My kid's messing with the lights, but yeah, same thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, good. So you said something in there that made me want to say, oh, that's the other thing. When I'm sending friend requests, I try to send friend requests that have the least amount of mutual friends as me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have, when I see somebody that has 25 mutual friends as me and 20 of them are Modere people, I'm like, bye. I don't, that's not it, because they're going to see all these Modere people, and then they're going to, what happens when people end up with all these people from one company, they start to get this stigma, right? I came from a company that had a stigma where they think, oh, everybody's talking about this, that company's everywhere. No, it's not. You just have 27,000 friends that sell it, right? These companies aren't that big. We're just doing a good job with our friend requests. So that's where you got to be kind of a little bit choosy too. I never, ever, ever send a friend request out of the Facebook suggested people.
Yes, I was getting there. That's also why I definitely don't, because I've got 200 people on my friends list that are in my team. I don't want to be reaching into their networks. And same thing, like, Allie, we're Facebook friends. Like, I don't want to be reaching into your network either. Like, I'd rather reach out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. So now that we've got all of those things, does anybody have any questions about anything that we talked about so far? Because now I want to talk about what you do once you're in a group. And then I want to talk about how to talk to, well, actually, first I'm going to talk about these new friends that you're making. See, that's just the thing, Christine. You're not really making mistakes. It's just learning curves, right? Like we talk about to be successful, you must have many, many failures. So you've just been checking them off the board, and now you're going to correct and divert and figure it all out. So I think you're going to be good. Okay. All right. So let's talk about when somebody becomes a friend, which, well, we already talked about whether you're going to message or you're going to interact on their page. I loved Kagan's suggestions with interacting on their page because I feel like that's going to bring them. What's the first thing you guys do when somebody comments? If you don't know them and somebody comments on one of your posts on your Facebook, first thing you do is you go to their page to check out their Facebook. So that's going to start getting some interaction. So hopefully, I like to do, and this isn't going to work all the time, but something really good to do. If you post a really good interaction post or a really good curiosity post, something that's going to drive your business, and then you go and interact on as many non-Modere people's pages as you can, because they're all going to see your post, and then they're going to go look at your page because they're like, who is this girl that just commented on my stuff? They're going to go to your page, and the first thing they're going to see is, what is this chocolate spoon that she's holding? Or what is this shot glass on a Tuesday afternoon? Or, whatever. I think less people are like, oh, she's trying to sell me something, than, well, this girl, something's up with this girl. She's funny, she's quirky, she's interesting, she's got something going on, she's excited, she's friendly, because she just said some really nice things. She told me my dog was so cute. So that's what I comment on, is all the dogs. Okay, so here is where I think most of us are making the most mistakes with joining these groups, trying to make these friends. We're sending all the friend requests. Now what do we do? Okay, I feel like I'm not going to call her out, but she and I were basically talking about how it's hard for me and her to do the small talk part, right? Like, small talk is not, like, how do you get it from, hey, nice to meet you, excited to connect, to, are you open to checking this out? Here's the thing, you guys. If you've interacted a little bit on her page, and her, I say her because we obviously are all women and we probably are marketing towards the women. I friend request only women usually. You have interacted, you've seen on her page, you know what she's about. Instead of being like, oh, tell me about your vacation. Oh, I've always wanted to go to the Bahamas. What islands did you visit? Oh, how many swimsuits did you pack? Like, you could go on and on and on and on and on forever with small talk, right? Here's the thing. After a little bit of interacting on her page and seeing that she is the type of person that you either want to share with, I think for business purposes more than product, if you see somebody that aligns with your ideal team member, you have to take it upon yourself to you guys have all heard the compliments, the seesaw pound, like you compliment her on all the things you like about her, not all the things, because that would be really freaking creepy, but compliment her on what makes you think that she would be a good team member, and then say, you know what, I don't know if this even aligns with what you have going on, but I would love for you to check this out. If you are open to it, would it be okay if I share some things with you? And that's not verbatim.
I just want to add right there that if you're doing the one post per day about business or products, she's seeing what you're throwing out there. And there's going to be after a couple of interactions, right? Whether it's in Messenger, on her post, or on your post, it might feel more comfortable for you to have that conversation. But if you are doing and being your most authentic self about what this company has done for you financially, emotionally, physically, friendship wise, all of the things, she's going to ask you. Don't we all feel better when somebody comes to us and is like, okay, tell me what you're doing, right? Rather than sending out that message and just praying to God that she doesn't unfriend you right then and there or block you. So make sure you're being diligent and authentic and really telling people like, hey, this is like a game changer. This has changed my life.
I love that. And I feel like you guys are probably getting hung up on those pie slices when you look at that post on your timeline 3 times a day, 1 time about business, thinking, I don't want to post join my team 1 time a day on my page, because that's not curiosity, right? But if you're where I'm from, and we keep calling it the frozen tundra, which I see several frozen tundra ladies on here representing, for me, my daughter has been to school 1.5 days in 2 weeks because of the weather. I haven't had to contact a boss. I made a funny post the other day and I was like, dude, I got to cuddle my dogs for so many extra hours. Thank goodness my boss let me. Oh, wait, my boss is me. This rocks. I'm so thankful for what I get to do. That's a business post. Okay. So like Kagan said, what it's doing for you, what it's allowing for you. If it allows you to tip 40% and 20 instead of 20%, that's a business post. If it allows you to not have to budget while you walk through the grocery store, that's a business post. If you can fill up your tank instead of just putting $10 in at a time, that's a business post. Okay. And if you're not there yet to do those things, use someone else's story. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to. Use someone else's story, or talk about how you can't wait until those are your things. Okay. Or, like we talked about dream boards a lot in January. Has anybody talked about their dream boards since then? You probably should. I love that I just saw some hands. You should, because the more you're talking about it, the more that you're focusing on it, the more it's going to come to fruition. So maybe taking a picture of you with your dream board and being like, 1 day closer to this, that's a business post. Okay. So we got to get a little more creative, I think, with our business posts, because those are going to start attracting people, and consistency is a big part of it. Okay. So I'm glad that you said that, Kagan. Now I'm going to say this word in my recording, and this falls in line with something that happened yesterday, but I am ballsy when it comes to messaging people. I'm not afraid to send a message, like Kagan said, the delete or the blocking. Like I'm not afraid of, I have gotten in my head before. Let's be real. I used to be like master recruiter, and I kind of fell off my horse. I kind of wasn't doing the things, but that's just it. I wasn't doing the things. Right? I wasn't being consistent. I wasn't doing all out massive action. I wasn't following through. So these are the things. I ask the questions. Like when I have a girl reach out to, if somebody comments on my page, I'm going to instantly keep up. I have a page in my Adams tracker where I keep track of those people that I'm headed towards that conversation. And usually I try to take the small talk down. And my small talk, I usually keep the small talk on comments on posts. And then when I come into Messenger, I'll be like, you know what? That post you made the other day, like when I commented, this is what it made me think of, or something like that, to bring it to Messenger. And then, I mean, you guys know when you ask somebody, the things you can ask somebody that are going to make them expand on conversation, right? You don't ask questions that end in yes or no, because they end in yes or no, and then the conversation is done. If you ask them about their kids, if you ask them about their pets, if you ask them about their job that they're always complaining about on Facebook, if you ask them about, there's a number of things. You can gauge what you're going to talk to them about off of what they're talking about on their Facebook. So it's not like that meaningless conversation to them, right? Okay, so I just want you to, we always say, or I'm trying to be better at saying it, but like divorcing the result, right? Not getting so tied up in the result, but being more assertive. I guess that's better than ballsy. Probably should have said that. Being more assertive when you're talking to people, especially about the business. And I feel like that's the questions. I guess the reason I'm going in that direction is because those are the questions that people are asking me. How do I get there? If you're doing good curiosity posts, and we have albums of curiosity post ideas, albums upon albums of them, right? So if you're doing good curiosity posts, I think that you're going to find that the product part isn't going to be as difficult, right? I know Kagan shared her own results. Becky, Becky is who said it the other day. She shared her own results and her engagement went through the roof. So get your own results if you don't have your own results. I know Diana, she always shares her results, whether they're good or bad, with her weekly challenges. I know that people are watching that. I know that they are. So get your results, be posting those when it comes to curiosity. I just want you to not be afraid to talk to the people, right? The worst thing that's going to happen is they unfriend you, or you find out that you want to unfriend them, and then we're moving on to the next, right? And there's no harm in any of that, okay? Everybody's going to make fun because you can hear my landline ringing in the background now. Yes, I still have one of those. Okay, what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? I kind of probably, oh, what do you do when you get into groups? What's the landline? Funny, my friend, you're older than I am. What do we do when we get into groups? Okay, so this kind of has gone maybe not in their correct order, because when we get into groups, that's where you're trying to make like genuine connections, right? So for example, I had a girl, is she on here right now? I didn't notice. Yes. I asked somebody to send me a few screenshots the other day, and you guys, if you ever have a question, whether your post is a genuine post with interaction, call to action, good curiosity, send it to somebody and ask. It doesn't have to be me. I'm just saying, send it to a friend and be like, hey, would you post this? What would you change? Like, we are, and look, there's all these people from multiple different teams on here. Like, we should be using each other. Our culture that we are growing and manifesting and like fertilizing and growing here is so good amongst all these people. Use each other. Okay. The group that I joined was one of them that is one of my favorite groups. It's a mutts and mixed breed group, because my Bosley is a mutt. We don't even know what he is. So people are often posting their dogs on there. Well, the more genuine you are, instead of just being like, oh, cute dog, right? Like, I could comment that. Everybody's commenting that. I always say, oh my gosh, how could you ever resist that face? Look at him. What kind of dog is he? What do you think he's mixed with? All right. So whenever you're responding or commenting in your groups, dig in a little bit deeper. That's not really small talk. You're just trying to get them to talk to you. Right. So really drill down on that. I also will post, like, my dogs are always beside me. If you guys have followed me or been on my Facebook, like, my story or my page every day has Noodles or Bosley on it. So I'll post in there my dogs are kind of fugly, and I'll post a picture of them in there, and they get, and I'll like put a silly quote like about them being my office assistants or something to grab attention, and then say, hey, show me what your office view looks like. I think that Sam and I were talking, and she did one with her dog was like staring at her while she was on the treadmill. And I was like, yeah, when you post what's your view when you're working out? Because other people have that same thing and other people want to share. If you open up an opportunity for someone to A, share their opinion, or B, share what's going on for them, people's favorite topic is themselves. So if you ask questions about them, they're going to share. Okay? So I think that you have to be a little bit crafty. I think we need to use each other with our posts, but I think you have to be a little bit crafty and organic, be original about what, for sure, if you guys are not following the chat right now and you don't know Karen Fitzgerald, that is the truest statement on the planet. You guys just have to be, I want to say fun, but yes, just have fun. You just have fun with your posts, right? If you make a post in a group and it doesn't get any interaction, I would delete it. Start over. Like, I think that what we get worried that we put things out there and they have to be concrete. If it gets no interaction and only gets likes or loves, that's another thing. If it's only getting likes or loves, to me, that's really zero interaction. You didn't give them a call to action. You just posted a really cute picture. So, let's see here. What else? Post something. I just did album. Kagan has had it in her group. I posted the album into our group today with all those engagement post things. If you're in a group of all moms, those engagement posts are a great thing, right? Like, start a gift war, right? and then reply to every GIF. But don't just be like, haha, funny. Be like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite GIF. And then share a GIF back and be like,
reply with the GIF.
Yes, start some conversation. You guys, you can dig in, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay? I feel like you all, and this is a blanket statement, and I feel I can be confident in saying 95% of the people all feel like you have to do this by yourself, and that you should know what curiosity posting is, and you should be good at attraction marketing. This is a learning curve, right? We are all learning. Me, Kagan, we are all learning. So we need to use each other, and we will fine tune that instrument. Okay? It's taken time, and we'll get there where it just is second nature to you.
I just want to add, guys, if you filled out your brand thing, when you're posting in groups, your post should be about a subcategory on your brand, maybe even two, right? So like if we all have health and wellness as a pillar, right? It's just what we bought into when we bought our kit. If you're posting in a fitness group and you're a single mom or you're a stay-at-home mom, that post should be geared more. It shouldn't just be, what are your favorite workouts? It should be, what are your favorite workouts to do with tiny monsters running around? Cute pic of the kids for attention, right? It should be very specific. It should cover at least one subcategory, maybe even two, into your brand.
I love that. I think the more that you drill it down like that, the easier this is going to be for you guys, right? It doesn't have to be, one size fits all in any sort of the word. I think that the more you do it, like I feel like after tonight, when you go and you make your first couple, you're going to be like, I don't know, is this good enough? And then within 2 or 3 days, you're going to be like, oh, I have an idea. And it's going to start coming. Now, we're doing power hours. And most days, if not every day, we do one of those 20-minute sections. In one of those 20-minute sections, we recommend content planning. Okay? So that content plan, when we suggest content planning, what we mean by that is coming up with some questions for interaction that are related to you, or coming up with your live topics. I'm not even going to drill down on live video, but you guys, if you're joining in groups and you're friending all these new people, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are adding new friends, if you jump on a live, you're going to get their eyes on you. Okay? So getting better with live video and having content ready and knowing what you're going to do, the more prepared you are, the easier it is. I'm not good with bullet points because I can't pay attention to them. I sometimes write them all down and then I leave them on my desk, because if I write them down, I remember them a little bit better. But I don't follow notes, but I know a lot of people put their sticky notes around their ring light, or their sticky notes like on the wall beside whatever light they're using, so that they can have those bullet points for them. I'm way more exciting and way funnier to watch if I don't have bullet points. So find what works for you and go with it. I want you guys to, here's the thing, you're not news reporters when you do a live video. I just said I wasn't going to talk about live video, and here I go. I'm just going to make it really short, okay? Nothing about Daphne is short-winded. Whoops. When you guys do live video, you're not news reporters. Be real, be fun, have fun, be excited. I like to, okay, so here's my thing. I think you should stand up when you're doing live video. That's my personal opinion, because you're way more energetic and more exciting when you're standing. I think that before you do a live video, you should either pace around your house, you should do 15, 20 jumping jacks, you should, well, not all of these things. I don't want you getting on there and not being able to breathe. I'm just saying I want you to get some blood pumping, okay? When people get off my live videos, I want them to be like, man, she's contagious. Whatever it takes for you to get your energy level, I could sit at my desk. I did all day today. I didn't shower until 3 hours ago because I was working all day. I could have been if I did a live video, then I would have been so mellow. Actually, that's probably not true. I'm never mellow. But after I took my shower and I talked to Kagan while I was cooking dinner and I was doing stuff, my energy level rises when I'm active. So do something like that, okay? Just a suggestion. But then be real, be you. If you stutter on your words, be like, oh, that's the beauty of live video, folks. I always make fun of myself in live videos when I make mistakes, because then people are like, oh man, if she can do it, I can do it, right? Like, you want to be relatable. You don't want to look like you are a robot. Okay? All right. I didn't really mean to talk about live video tonight. I really wanted this to be about groups and growing your network. But I guess that directly aligns, because as you're friending people, live videos get more eyes on you. I'm telling you. Also, I want to talk about this one live video really quickly. If you do a live video and you're looking down, it is not a good angle for anyone. Okay? You want to make sure that your phone is either directly straight out in front of you or up.
Put it up. Get you a good selfie angle.
I like it.
Mess with it for a second.
I have this little tripod. If I do a seated one, I have this little tripod. It swivels. It actually stands up. It's what I travel with too. But it sits right here on my desk so that if I do one at my desk, and then I have my ring light. But I always set them up so that they're getting a good angle, you guys. If people are scrolling and they see something that is well put together. Now, my background is never good. This is my background if I'm sitting, and my treadmill is the background. You guys have seen my live videos, most of you. I don't feel like it has to be professional or any sort of like fancy background, but I do think that when somebody is scrolling and they see something that looks attractive to the eye or looks a little bit put together, they're going to stop on it more than bad angles or blurry. Or this is the other thing. Don't hold your phone while you're doing a live video, because this gives people seasick. Me anyway, right? So you want to do something that you want to get something to hold it. Man, before I had a tripod, I would stack up books and lean the sucker on a shelf, and I would sit on a chair that was lower so that I would have the right angle. Like, it doesn't, you don't have to buy all the things to make it.
You don't need a diva light. You need a bright light and a little tripod from Amazon for $11. That's it.
Yeah, I don't want y'all to go spending a bunch of money. I just want you to think those things through, right? Like, we want to, yeah, see? Bethany said she had boxes and books stacked too. I'm not the only one. I definitely had like the most wonky thing. My phone has fallen down from those books in the middle of a live video, and I'm like, oh, live video, phone just fell. Like, people will laugh and be like, oh, there's Daphne. Cat tower. See? You guys just got to get creative. Shoe boxes, opened up my curtains. Yes, I'm actually going to say that daylight is the best light, right? If you can prop your phone up in a window and do some daylight, if it's nice and shiny out, beautiful. Okay, so that was whole. We want to get all eyes on you. So when you're interacting in these groups, I just really, really, really want you guys to be yourself and not. Kagan made a really good statement about walking up to a group of women at the bar, or walking up to a group of women at the park. Okay? Like, when we're worried about how people are going to think, and they think we're going to sell them something, or that we're going to talk to them about business, or that that is when you are focused on the sale or the business. Okay? If you go into these groups and you're like, man, I wonder who will think Bosley's cute. And you really just start thinking about what kind of people are going to connect with you, because they genuinely are going to connect with you. You're going to start talking to them, and then it will naturally veer itself there. Okay? So if you're super, super hungry for the business and super, super hungry for, sales and building a team, that's fantastic. But you have to be confident and know that it's going to come, and just be yourself. Is that fair? Like, I know that's super hard to stomach sometimes because we want it like 3 days ago, but it will come. And I'm going to say, who was I watching the other day? I can't even remember. She's not on here right now, but somebody relatively new, not on my team and not on Kagan's team. I think she's directly under Amber, maybe. She's been in here in the business for not very long, but she's been consistent with live video, and she's never done live video. So she started doing live video and got consistent, and she was consistent, and she's real, right? She's tells them when she's nervous. She doesn't always remember to ask for engagement. She just is herself, good at titling. Okay, titles on the videos are good. That's a big thing because you're going to get more views if you title it appropriately. Never start a live video without a title. Make sure your title leaves something to be, like, I know it's a good title when I'm scrolling and I'm like, I got to open this. Like, did they do something fun without telling me? Because I need to watch this video. So be crafty with your live videos. Leave something to the imagination so they have to open it up to know the answer, right? But she is been very consistent. She's doing really well. She's interacting the way that she should with every, this is Karen and I. Karen did a really good live video yesterday. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go watch it, because if you came from another company, you guys need to really release that. So that live video was really awesome. She was getting tons of comments. I caught it too late. If you guys we always have coached you is to comment on every comment, respond to every comment, wait a few hours and comment on about 10 or 15. And then wait a few hours and comment about 10 or 15 or 5. If you only have 20 comments, comment on 5. Wait an hour or 2, comment on 5. Wait a few hours, or even wait till the next morning, comment on 5. Every single time you do that, it pulls it back to the top of someone's newsfeed. Okay? So you're basically bumping your stuff every time that you go in and comment. Now, after your comments are done, if it's a really good live video, Karen's has a purpose, right? I'm using that video for an example because this is exactly what she needs to be doing. That video has a purpose, and we want it to reach a lot of people. So on her views, I just read her comment. On her comments, like tomorrow morning, I would say she should go back in and be like, I can't get this video off my mind, and just make a comment. It doesn't have to be in a response to anyone. It can just be a comment. Again, it's going to bump it back to the top of people's news feeds, or even just a sticker or a GIF, like a jumping up and down GIF, whatever is relatable. Okay. If you watch John Melton bumps his own videos all the time. If you guys go into your memories and something in there was for those of you that have been here more than a year, if you go into your memories and last year, you posted the best curiosity post and it got so much engagement, bump that sucker. Because if it got you engagement before, let's give it another try, right? So, I hope this helped a little bit with building your network. I probably didn't expand as much on going from that small talk to like opening up, but you guys, there's a big piece of that that's not small talk, and that's the engagement part. That's the actually commenting a few times on their posts. That's the being friendly, right? And I personally think that a comment, I know that they say don't like anything, love it, but I personally think that reactions are just the easy way out. I think you should be commenting, right? Like that's how you're going to get people to look at your pages, if you're commenting. So that's why we put on there every time you open Facebook, comment on 10 non-Modere people's posts. I think you should be doing more than that. Honestly, like if you really are hungry and you really want to do it, every time you open up that Facebook and you want to look at the news feed, go post on as many non-Modere people's stuff as you can. Go into your friends list. Go comment on every single A person. When you open Facebook next time, comment on every single A person's stuff that's non-Modere. And then the next time you open it, start at B's. And then the next time C's, until you get all the way through the alphabet, and then start at A's again. If you're, looking for a way to keep track of it. The more that you put into it, and you guys, this is all stuff, if you're on the Power Hour and you spent 20 minutes commenting on non-Modere people's stuff in one of those manners, you will be surprised. I feel like we are looking at all of these IPA trackers, and this success run, which by the way I have trouble saying, is super great because it's not a huge long list of IPAs, but we have all these trackers, and I feel like there are many, many, many of us that look at these trackers and say, oh my gosh, there's so many things to do, and then we just don't do any of them because we don't know where to start. So it's a big, big, big deal that you're doing something. And if that is engagement, if that is commenting on, as many non-Modere people and creating engagement, and then making sure that your posts bring value and engagement as well. If you have good posts and good stories and you are commenting on non-Modere people's stuff to bring their eyes to your page, you're going to be shocked at what you're doing. Okay. So recap, don't be afraid to add and delete groups. Don't be afraid to add and delete people from old groups. Go through your old groups. That's what I'm currently doing when I'm doing my adding and deleting friends. Your feelings aren't hurt when somebody deletes you. At least I hope they're not. So don't feel like when you delete somebody, they're going to get all up in a bunch, unless they're your friend from middle school that, you see every Saturday and whatever. What else do I want to recap? Kagan, what else do I want to recap? What am I missing?
Just being authentic, making sure that you're presenting the products and the opportunity every day. So that way people are asking questions, and in a different way every day. right?
For sure. For sure. You guys, if you haven't read, well, I'm not going to get into too much personal development. For me, I can't read very much anymore. My attention span's not long enough, so I do most of my personal development on YouTube. And I have to be busy, so I usually jump on a treadmill and I watch videos with earbuds in my ears. You guys, you are getting a ton of value from that. If you're not doing personal development, that's probably a big part of the problem, to be very honest with you. If you're not doing something to feed your mind. Now, I'm not telling you, if you're not doing personal development and you started doing 20 minutes a day, it would be a massive improvement. Don't feel like you need to go from doing 0 to an hour a day, because you're never going to stay consistent with that. Now, if you're doing an hour a day and you're not putting it into action, you need to cut it back to 20 minutes. I'm probably one of the only people that you'll hear say that. But I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in learning, training, growing, manifesting all these things in our head that we don't put all the pieces to action. And so sometimes we have to scale back and say, you know what, I've learned so much. I need to put all these things that I've learned to use. Okay? So don't be afraid of that either. I think it says, oh, the last thing I wanted to say, and this goes right along with personal development. If you guys, I want to know who has this going on right now. Oh, I gotta get these off the screen first. Oh, please. Who has this on their tablet or their phone as your save screen? Okay, you guys, you should be reading every single day. I made it as my lock screen because, you guys, we put some work into that manifesto. So the mini manifesto, if you don't know what that is, you need to make sure you get with your leader and find out what the manifesto is in the mini manifesto, because we put a lot of work into that. And I really, really, really think that it's a big piece. Like, I was like, oh, this is just going to look cute on my phone. And I literally find myself, like, when a text comes through while I'm blow drying my hair and I look down and my phone's lit up, I'll, like, read them, right? I read them, either read them out loud, I'm saying them. I really, really feel like there's a lot to that. Oh, Diana, you just finished The Energy Bus. I love that book so much, so much. If you haven't read The Energy Bus, to all of you, you should. But this mini manifesto, there is a large manifesto. I haven't even printed mine off. I'll be very real with you guys, but I was so excited to print or to put these on all of my pieces of electronics. So it's on all of my stuff sitting here. So every time something lights up, that's what I see. So make sure that if you haven't chosen yours, each leader that helped create it picked out 1 or 2 that were like theirs specifically, that like represented them. And then we have a couple generic ones and we loaded them in there. So the album is there for you to choose. If you need help, get with your leader. Okay. Oh, Terry printed it and has everywhere and on her bathroom mirror. I love that so much. I'm so glad that the feedback has been so awesome. I'm glad that everyone loved it, because we really had a good time figuring out who we are as shop mobbers. So it was really good.
Can't wait for SRC to see, like, picking up a phone and just saying shop mom, shop
I
mom,
feel like we need to get like a big, huge group picture with all of our screens like shining.
Yeah, I think that'll be so fun.
So fun. So fun. So cool. All right, guys. Well, I didn't intend to keep you for a whole hour. I hope you got a little bit of value out of this. I hope that you learned something. Amber asked me if I would share this recording, which I will gladly do. But she also asked if I would do just a quick live video in Elite Dynasty about it. So if you guys want the recording, I'll have it. I'll probably share it in all of our chats. And then, I don't know. If you think I should share the Zoom, I can. But if you guys have any more questions, I'm going to cut this off just because I'm actually going to turn the recording off really quickly.